Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Myra. Welcome if you're new. Today I am going to share with you how to make michelada bombs. I have a few of the things that we will be using back here, but I will actually go over everything as we go along. The first things that you will need is a jug, and the purpose of this is just to be able to drop it in. I am also going to be using some vegetable juice. You can also use V8 or Clamato, whatever you like, use. We also have our molds, and I personally like to use these here. A lot of people do use the silicone ones, but they are very flimsy, so it's not my first preference. But these are the ones that I will be using. If you saw my hot chocolate bomb video or my paleta payaso, you are already familiar with these. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I will try to link some down below for you as well. And then it comes in a pack of 2, so these are the smaller ones. These ones have the pattern on here, and for the purpose of this video I will actually do one of each just so you can see the difference. And because I want you to see everything that I'm going to pour on here, I'm actually going to use just this container just to pour everything in, and then I will pour it back in here. So we're going to just go ahead and pour in our vegetable juice. We're going to use all of it, and this is a 64-ounce bottle. And keep in mind that I am making quite a few of these. If you don't want to use all of the juice, then adjust the measurements to your preference. Now it's time to add your favorite salsa. You can use any of the salsas that you like to add to your actual micheladas. I am going to be adding Tabasco and Tapatio. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of Tapatio. And I am also going to be adding 2 tablespoons of the Tabasco. Next, I'm going to take some chamoy, and I'm going to be using this type of chamoy. You can use any kind that you have. And I am also adding 2 tablespoons to our mixture. And once again, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of tajín. We're also going to go in with some seasoning sauce, and I'm using Maggi. And this is to give it more of that sweet and sour taste. And I'm going to go in with 1 tablespoon. I'm also going to be taking some black pepper, and I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons. I'm also going to be using celery salt, and I'm going to be using 2 teaspoons of this. Next, I'm going to go in with some of this Lucas mango, and I will be using 2 bottles. Now, to give this a little bit more taste, I'm going in with some tamarind powder, and you can find this pretty much anywhere. And the last ingredient to our mixture is going to be a lemon, and I'm going to go ahead and use all of it. Once we have everything in here, menéalo. So now, depending on how many you plan to make, you can either get your jug or you can get just a little beaker and start pouring them into your molds. Now keep in mind that you will need 2 of the molds for 1 michelada bomb. So I am going to be doing 2 big ones, which will be 4 molds. And I am doing the same thing for our smaller molds. So once your molds are ready, go ahead and place them in the freezer for about 2 hours. And very quick side note, Don't fill your molds up all the way to the top because this is water, so it will expand. While those are freezing, it's time to go ahead and get creative. So I have a bunch of candy down here that I am going to be sharing with you. And all of this is going to go inside our Michelada bombs. These are pica tamarind. You can also find these in strawberry flavor, which are called pica fresas. And they look, let me open these for you. They look like this. Now for this, I'm going to be using pica tamarind because this blends in with the flavors that we're using. If you remembered, we went ahead and used the tamarind powder. So we're going to pair it up with the pica tamarind as well. And this is what the bag looks like. Just in case you're not familiar, this little bag contains 30 little tamarind flavored candies. We're also going to go in with some pulparindo, and this is the original flavor, which is also tamarind. I have some sour streamers, fruit gushers. You can also use sour candies for these. Any candy that you like, go ahead and add it. Get creative. The last candy that I will be using is going to be the tamarind straws, and this is the way that I will be drinking mine. So we're going to go ahead and just open all our candy and have it ready for when our Michelada bombs are set. And cut them into little squares. And you want to make sure that your candies are small enough to fit into this straw. We're also using a lime, and I'm just going to cut it. So just little circles, and these will be to garnish. And we're just going to set this aside. Now we're going to make our chamoy. You can do the lazy version, which I will show you, and this will have pulparindo in it. If you don't want to add that much sugar to it, you can go ahead and do my chamoy version, which I will link at the end of this video. I have the watermelon, which is by far my favorite out of all of them, and I also have a mango one, which is more on the sour side than sweet, just depending on the mangoes that you have. So I will be linking those at the end of this video and down in the comment box, just in case you guys don't want to wait till the end. But let's go ahead and take you guys to my kitchen. So I took 12 pulparindos and added them to my pan. Now I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of water. And you want to make sure to stay next to your tamarind as this dissolves because you don't want this to stick. Now to help this a little bit more, I'm going to go in with another tablespoon of water. So next we're going to go in back with our chamoy, and I'm adding half a cup of chamoy to this. And half a cup of tajín. And then stir one more time. And then with one more Lucas mango, I'm going to go ahead and pour in the entire bottle. I actually like my chamoy to be a little bit spicier, so I am going to go in with some chile en polvo. I pretty much just poured some on top because this is a little bit on the spicier side. You can either get mild or hot, and I am going to be doing a hot. So I'm just pretty much eyeballing it, but if you want to do exact measurements, I did about half a cup. And once this starts to boil, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to go ahead and just start by decorating my cup. And I have my chamoy, it's cooled off, everything is set, and I am just gonna go in here. And then I'm going to cover it like this. And then I'm just going to go ahead with my tajín powder one more time and sprinkle it all over. I have a plate underneath me, so don't think that it's just falling to the ground. You can also do this on top of the sink, pour some on a plate, go around it one more time, whatever you want to do. And your cup should look something like this. I like to go a little bit more out, and I'm just going to get some chamoy and then go all around my cup. So for this step, you're going to need a beer, whatever beer you like. So they've been in the fridge, and now it's just time to go ahead and scrape it off, and we're going to make a hole. And this hole just needs to be big enough for all of your candy that you want to put in here to fit in. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. This is what they should look like after you made the holes. So in order to take these out, I'm just kind of pushing it a little bit towards the front. And there goes our first half. So next, I'm just going to bring back the chamoy that I had cooled off earlier and the plate of candies, lime, and sour gummies, as well as the tamarindo candies. So I'm just going to add a few pieces. I'm also going to be adding sour candies. You can add different gummies if you like. You can also go ahead and add some of the lime pieces to your inside. Now I am just adding a little bit more of the tamarind pieces. I also went ahead and added our pica tamarind. Now I'm taking some of the chamoy that we just made with the candy, and we're doing this to form a glue. This way our michelada bombs will stick together. And you want this to be around the rim as much as possible because that's where we need it to go in. So don't worry if this comes out. That's perfectly fine. That's actually going to help you a little bit more. Now we're going to go ahead and stick these together. Just press carefully so this doesn't come apart. Now you can either stop here and just put these in your freezer for when you have to use them. And I'm just going to take a fruit roll-up and wrap this around my michelada bomb. And this is not only going to help it look a little bit nicer and neater, but this is also going to help add a little bit more sweetness and keep the chamoy and everything in place. So once you finish this, go ahead and put this in the freezer until you're ready to use. Now we're going to go ahead and use this, and I'm taking the cup that I had just decorated. I'm going to take my beer. I'm using Modelo. You can also use Indio beer. That one is really good with micheladas, and I'm just going to pour some in. And before we pour it in, we're going to go ahead and cover this with some chamoy. If you feel like your chamoy has become too hard, you can always put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and this will make it a little bit more loose. And we're just gonna go ahead and pour some on the top. And then once again, you can go ahead and sprinkle this with some Lucas. I am going to be using Miguelito. And this is just to make it look nice and appetizing. Now, because we are using a cold drink, it is going to take a little bit longer. But while we wait, you can go ahead and pour a little bit more of your beer on top, just to help that dissolve a little bit faster. We can go ahead and add some lime to our cup. And we're going to go ahead and push this down and help it dissolve a little bit faster. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know if you make these, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.